So in terms of improving quality in simple invoicing, you want to focus on the front end. Where is the information input in the order to cash process? So if you think about quotes, are there ways to error-proof a quote form to ensure that all the required information is on the quote? I've seen quote forms in companies where they're just simple Word documents, but they don't contain everything that order entry and or invoicing needs. How can you build quality at the source when an order is entered? Can you put in system requirements? Hard code fields have to be completed. Can you restrict certain fields in order processing so that you can prevent errors from occurring? In terms of pricing, and again, I've seen this. Some companies have somewhat dynamic pricing for various legitimate reasons. But the question is, are those prices updated in systems in a consistent way, or do you have order entry checking and confirming prices maybe against a quote, maybe against some updated price list and the system hasn't been updated? So simplify, and the same thing goes with discounts. You know, what leeway do salespeople have in giving discounts off standard company prices? So you want to simplify, standardize, and systematize pricing and terms to prevent having to check and confirm. In terms of filling orders and the work and then the transaction processing, you want to look at the transaction processing and see if there are error proofing opportunities so that defects can't occur in the information that's entered, which can create defective information that accounts receivable receives. If you have any special invoicing requirements on simple invoicing, how can you automate that information to be delivered into accounts receivable or to be hard-coded onto invoices? In terms of improving delivery and flow, now I've seen simple invoice processes that work quite well, but it's always good to study because you might find opportunities. For example, in the quoting process, do you have a simple quoting process and form? I've seen multiple methods of quoting. For example, a Word document. Then that information on the Word document gets entered into a CRM system. And then it gets transferred from a CRM system into the ERP system, sometimes electronically, sometimes not. In terms of how customers place orders, can you have one method in which customers place orders? Because many times if emails can be sent, there's incomplete information, and whatever teams are entering the orders, they have to go back and get the complete information. It slows things down, creates handoffs, and creates unnecessary checking and reviewing. In terms of the paperwork handoffs and the transaction processing and order fulfillment, how can you eliminate that? How can you make that flow faster rather than in batch processes? And then how can you automate the delivery of any supplemental information that's needed on invoices? So now it's time for our next review.